I got 3 words. Michael fucking Kopech. That's it right there. He went out there tonight against one of, if not arguably the best offense in the game of baseball right now, dropped his nuts on the table and said, here they are. What you going to do? And you know what? They didn't do a fucking thing about it. He went out there and he absolutely shoved. He said, here comes my fastball. I'm going to take it. I'm going to shove it up your ass, and you can't do a damn thing about it. And you know what? They didn't.
Hey, Steve, I remember an earlier point in this season where you were sitting here talking about the importance of throwing strikes. That's what Michael Kopech did today. He threw strikes. He looked cool and tough out there. We had this debate in my garage earlier on in the year. What's your favorite pitch? I said it's that high fuck you fastball. I love seeing it, and Michael Kopech just does it so damn well. He had that working for him tonight. He had his secondary stuff working tonight. He just looked like a baseball player out there. I wish I could have seen more Michael Kopech pitch it, like just pitching tonight. Like I wanted to see Michael Kopech go 9 innings because he looked absolutely fucking unhittable. I'm jacked watching that kind of performance. Obviously, Steve, if I'm going to give my first impression, I wish the White Sox gave him a little bit of offense early because I think he would have relaxed up a little bit out there and been able to go farther in the ball game. But overall, this might be the first time I'm having fun on this show all year, Steve. Like really, like having fun
since opening weekend. Since they went out there and dick slapped Detroit on that Sunday.
I'm having a lot of fun with this show. Like we're just rolling in here some raw emotion. Steve, Michael Kopech goes 6 innings, only gives up one hit all night, strikes out 8. He's now at a 1.94 ERA. This is the type of shit that you want to see from a guy acquired for Chris Sale. Like this is against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know they're going through some struggles right now. I know they're not the hottest team in baseball, but that's a damn good offense that you just ripped yourself through if you're Michael fucking Kopech tonight. And that's that. I think that's how he should be referred to for the rest of his existence. Steve, this was cool and tough shit.
This right here was example number 1 as to why this fan base has been so excited and had so much anticipation for Michael Kopech and the belief in what this guy can be as far as cementing himself as the anchor at the top of a rotation. The stuff you saw tonight, this is stuff that plays in October when the big boys are on the big stage. We talk all the time on this show about needing to have an ace, needing to have a guy that when the moment gets real big, goes out there and again, just decides I'm going to shove tonight and you can't do anything about it. He did that a couple weeks ago on Sunday night in front of the whole baseball world in Yankee Stadium, and he did it again tonight at home against the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's 2 separate occasions right now here where he's gone out there against high caliber marquee opponents and laid his nuts on the table, and they didn't do a fucking thing to him. This is what this guy is capable of doing. This is why we've been talking and saying Michael Kopech can be an ace, and he showed it.
You know, Steve, if we're going to go back to, you know, how we felt in 2018, 2019, Michael Kopech was the guy that I wanted to be the ace of this staff. You think about the trials and tribulations of Lucas Giolito. He arrived a little bit sooner. Reynaldo Lopez was in this discussion at one point of a guy who could be an anchor in this rotation. I don't think he had number 1 type stuff, but it was always like that question, who's going to be your number 1 guy? Alec Hansen was on that list as well, if you remember correctly. Have to drop his name.
I remember.
I mean, you have to think about this. Michael Kopech, in my opinion, was that guy that I wanted at the front. If we're going back a little bit, when he does this type of stuff, when he shows up in these types of performances, everything that this guy's been through to work his way back up to this, because there was a point, and I'll call Johnny out on this, where he didn't think that Michael Kopech was ever going to pitch another game in a White Sox uniform. Here we are right now, Michael Kopech just showing you how good he can be. Man, I'm jacked when you're talking about this. I've got goosebumps on my arms, Steve. You're talking about a guy that can go out there in October and lay a start down that he's going to be untouchable against an offense like LA at home. Man, can you imagine a blackout crowd, Michael Kopech on the mound, thunderstruck plays. You go out there and Michael Kopech lays down 6-7 innings of shutout, fuck you baseball with just that electric stuff. That's what we were promised, Steve.
Anthony, you're getting blood flowing to some different regions for me right now here.
Yeah, I'm jacked on this. I'm jacked up. This is what I've wanted to see. I want the offense to show up a little bit earlier, but holy shit, man. This is why I haven't written this team off yet, Steve. This is why I still believe in it. I still think that they can do something here. Maybe it's a little bit early. I might eat my words. Shit can happen. But you see the team play a game like tonight after you're coming off a 2 out of 3 in Tampa. This is the best I've felt in a while, man. I want to run my mouth as a White Sox fan right now because you just saw the guys show up and do their fucking jobs the way that you've always wanted them to.
This was the, again, most complete baseball game that this team has played since that first Sunday of the season in Detroit. So it's been about 2 months now since we've seen a performance like this. You know, we can talk about the offensive struggles, first time through the order, 12 up, 12 down to kind of get things going. The bases loaded situation with Reese McGuire and Josh Harrison in the fifth inning. We can talk and we can lament about that. We've done enough of that already this year. The fact is they played a good, clean, crisp baseball game here today. They played solid defense. And as the immortal Hawk Harrison would always say, with pitching being the first line of defense. Everyone knows I come on this show because I want to talk pitching. I want to talk dominant starting pitching. That's what gets my nads pumping. That's what it's all about right there. We saw it tonight. And again, I'm jacked to the moon right now here because this tonight, Michael Kopech, that's the stuff that I'm talking about. And something I want to circle back to here. You were talking about a lot of people writing off Michael Kopech. And I was someone that I had questions about Michael Kopech and the fact that he went 2.5 years without throwing a competitive pitch going into the season last year. So I had some concerns about him. He acquitted himself very nicely, pitching out of the bullpen, making a couple of spot starts here and there. This transition to the starting rotation this year has gone very well, if we're going to be completely honest with ourselves here. Yes, he had the hiccup in Toronto, his last outing, but the fact of the matter is he was coming off a 10-day layoff, and for a starting pitcher, pitching is so much about feel, okay? So when you're talking about 10 days in between outings, you can't simulate the adrenaline that is needed to get out hitters at any level, let alone at the major league level. So whether you're doing bullpens, whether you're doing simulated games against guys on the squad, it's not the same. So when you have that long layoff like that, it's typically only going to go one of two ways. Either you're going to go out there, you're going to be completely refreshed, everything's going to be crisp, similar to what we saw in that start against the Yankees because he had a long layoff there. Or you're going to go out there, you're going to have no feel, particularly for your secondary offerings, and you're going to get hurt. That's what happened against the Toronto Blue Jays. So today, here, normal rest pattern. You know, actually no. You know what? He had a 6th day here, so he goes out. Everything is fluid. Everything is crisp. He's getting ahead of guys with consistency, utilizing that high spin fastball. Elevated at the top of the strike zone, dotting guys. He made Mookie Betts look bad on a couple of occasions here tonight, okay? That takes a lot.
Michael Kopech was a big name tonight. He's not going to get the national recognition that he deserves for what he did because he simply plays for the White Sox, and we know how this story goes, Steve. But you had a big name out there go do something tonight for the White Sox, and I just feel like we should be jacked about it. We should be proud of that. And I really honestly haven't been this happy all year.